Our topic on historical linguistics will now go on to who were the Proto-Indo-Europeans and where did they come from. So the most widely accepted hypothesis of where the Proto-Indo-Europeans came from is called the Kurgan hypothesis, as you can see here. So it has the original Proto-Indo-Europeans starting out in the Eurasian steppe near what would be, I know it's hard to see on this map, like maybe the Caucasus or like modern day Ukraine, and spreading out in both directions, as you could see. So the European branch would obviously start out in Europe and spread further there. And what this was largely accountable by was the advances in technology that the Proto-Indo-Europeans had over these people that they were conquering land from. So the original peoples, like in these areas, were hunter-gatherers, or could be best described as like hunter and gathering societies, while the Proto-Indo-Europeans had advanced tools like metalworking and horseback riding and chariots that they used to conquer these native peoples. So you could see here that they spread out into what's modern day India, what's modern day Western China. These guys are known as the Tokharians. The Tokharians are, you could see them in ancient depictions in art of that time. Very interesting. And of course into Europe and into Greece and into modern day Turkey. So what you can see is that it is not just an expansion into Europe, but over this quite large area. What these pictures show here are the best archaeological representation for the Kurgan peoples, and what they're named after are these Kurgan mounds, these burial mounds that are found in the Eurasian steppe. And how do we determine that they came from the Eurasian steppe? Well, one of the tricks that linguists use is to go through the daughter languages and see like what words we have for the flora and fauna that are most widely shared in each daughter language. And what that can show us is what the Proto-Indo-Europeans actually encountered. So for bear, we have a word bearme, horse, equos, oak, agai, and birch, berhags. And what this could tell us is that the Proto-Indo-Europeans encountered bears, horses, oak trees, and birch trees where they lived. And a fascinating thing is that in Proto-Indo-European, the linguists can actually determine two words for horse, one being the domesticated version of horse and one being undomesticated, which is evidence of them having domesticated horses back in that time. Another way, what linguists can also develop through through the same method is the materials and culture that the Proto-Indo-Europeans had as well. So we could so linguists can determine the word for wheel, mead, boat, and yoke, which of course tells us that the Proto-Indo-Europeans had the wheel, which was used in their chariots, of course. Mead, which shows us about their culture and how they like to drink. Boat, again, another technological fact that they had. And yoke, which could tell us a lot about their agricultural industry. And that is just a look of how linguistic reconstruction can tell us about the past.